Yeah, if I open my mouth, yeah, I open my mouth, all right. Just normally. This side here kind of droops down a bit compared to this side. And I used to have, years ago now though, I used to have something called Bell's palsy. I don't know if you know what that is. Bell's palsy is exactly when half your face, believe it or not, right down the center of your nose, all the way down, is like no, it doesn't work. Your eye droops, your lip hangs, and when you flare your nostrils, exactly one half will work, the other half won't. And I had that, and I thought I was going to have that like for I don't know how long. Sometimes you have it forever, but mine went away after several weeks. But we had a politician, a prime minister. His name was Chrétien. He had Bell's palsy like all the time, so he would speak out of half of his mouth, and but that I still kind of I don't have it all the time. I don't feel that, but it's still kind of there. Hey, Ronney, my friend, how you doing, buddy? You have any content at all? I don't know if I'm subscribed to you. I have a friend that pops in. His name is Ronney Braun, spelled the same as you, but his name is Ronney Braun. It's a surprisingly common condition. Oh, really? I've seen a few people with it. It's called Bell's palsy. Yeah. And it was so funny when I would drink something, it would dribble out the side that didn't work. But and my eye would always water. So I personally didn't like it too much. It didn't, I didn't like it too much at all. But it did go away. But I notice it now when I'm talking. This side here of my mouth kind of droops a bit. Although things work, I can flare my nostril on that side. Yes, it's me, Ronney. Okay. I broke my phone. I broke my phone and haven't had got my other channels back. Oh, what the heck? You lost your channel, your Ronney Braun channel? So you are the same, Ronney. This is a different channel. I think you mentioned something on one of my lives or one of my videos, and I saw this Ronney, but just Ronney only, and I didn't know who that was. I think I went and checked out there. There's no videos, no subscribers, no nothing. So it must be new. So that's you. Oh, cool. Okay, now I know it's you. So what happened? Did you lose your other channel for good or what? Or what the heck happened there, my friend? I know what it's like to lose a channel, let me tell you. Because it's not just your channel that you lose only, your YouTube channel. I lost my Google account. Now my Google account is tied to your YouTube. In order to get onto YouTube, you need a Google account. Well, I lost my Google account, and so I both of them were kind of lost. I couldn't get into my Google account, so I can't get into my YouTube channel. I lost it for 3 weeks. And it's so hard to prove who you are. They have to prove who you are in order to get it back. And I had a hard time proving who I was. They would because there's no human person that you get to talk to at the beginning. You have to go through a whole bunch of hoops, and then finally you get to actually speak to a human being. But it's all a bot. And I even mentioned, I said, am I speaking to a human being, or is this a bot or something? And just the way I would ask the questions and the answers I would get, you could tell it wasn't a human being that was answering. It was just like, well, how am I going to get anything back if nobody wants to listen to me? So finally they said, yes, we see your channel has been compromised, and let's try this. So they tried something. I still couldn't get in. Yeah, I switched phones. I haven't exactly figured out how to get my channel back yet since my phone number changed. Okay, this is confusing. Did you get somebody hacked you, or you just changed your number or something? And the phone number is like a second part of the security. How's life in the lawless Yucatan? Now, I came to Cancun because of the dental situation. That's the only reason I came here, as opposed to going, Playa del Carmen or Puerto Vallarta or any other place in Mexico. The only reason I came here was for my dental. Now that my dental's done, I like Cancun, but I would like to see other places. I've been to Cancun 6 times, and I would like to go and see other places. So I went to Playa del Carmen yesterday, took the bus, went to Playa, spent the day there. I like that place. I like Playa del Carmen. It's a fun place, but I'd still like to go other places. But now I've been here for November the 1st to December 1st, or the November 9th to December 9th. So that's 1 month, December, January 9th, coming up in 2 days. In 1 day, tomorrow, I'll be here 2 months. So I got 4 months left. So maybe I can find some place in Playa and go there and stay there instead. The reason I came here in the first place is because the owner of the dental businesses said he had a place for me where his doctor's stay was a gated place, like a hotel kind of a place, not a house, a hotel. But then he's a really busy guy, and he handed me off to one of his people that look after one of the businesses management. His name is Benny, and that I'm staying in his house. Well, this house has been converted from a single dwelling house to a double dwelling, an up and a down dwelling. But I personally don't think he knows too much about how to be a landlord. In a third world country, everything is not done the same. There's things I need. He keeps telling me, if you need anything, just ask, we'll get it done. Well, he's so busy, he works like 12 hours a day every day except Sunday, like today. And so but you see, I needed a new sink. Well, he put a new sink in, but it was just the way it was put in is not very good. It's just like slap it together. It's not, there's no professional work done there. And now the toilet, there's a pump on the roof that gives pressure, water pressure, not like in my city where the water pressure is delivered by the city. Here, the water pressure is delivered by each individual house. So when you turn it off, it's like showering in, you might as well be showering in the rain. That's how much it comes out of the tap or out of the shower head, just like raindrops. Well, you can't shower that way very well. So when I turn the pressure pump on, it's continuously making a noise off and on. You can't hear it unless I'm really quiet, but it's going beep, beep every few seconds. And so he said, well, and it sounds like the toilet is doing that, and the toilet doesn't completely flush. So you have a big dump and it stays in there for several times. Like it doesn't flush. So you've got to either get a pail of water and flush it down. And because there's no pressure in the water, you can't fill up. Okay, hang on. Ronnie's been saying something. Yeah, I switched figured out how to get my phone back. Yeah, okay, and I didn't lose it for good. I was just dumb enough to secure it a phone number or two ago. I'll have to figure out my PIN number. Oh, okay. Well, good luck, Ronney. Holy smokes. There is a way to get all that back without too much problems. Just you go on Google or go to YouTube and ask that question. There's people there that can tell you how to get your PIN number back without doing too much. What has been your total layout for this trip? Oh, let me finish the story for you, Rob. Total layout for this trip, like to Mexico. Well, I paid like $1,000 for the return air flight. I pay $700 a month rent here, Canadian money, which is very, very cheap. I can get it cheaper. There's places where you can get real cheap. But I decided to do this because of the favor. He's Benny and Andy, the owner of the whole business, and Benny is a manager of one of the places. They were very good friends to me. They treated me super well the first 10 years ago when I first came here. So that's why I'm here. But it is what it is here. It's not very... I would never stand for this kind of treatment in Canada. And I'm just thinking, well, this is Mexico. Nothing is done. It's beautiful country and the people are nice. It's just, it is a third world country and things are treated that way. Like, it's incredible. So anyways, where I'm staying, I'm not satisfied with it. Benny, the guy, he lives upstairs, which has been converted from the bedrooms upstairs to, well, he pays for the electrical. I have to pay for the gas for the stove. It's a propane oven stove in the kitchen, and the hot water is on the gas, and he expects me to pay for that. So I figured my rent covered all that, but I guess not. So then, but he uses the hot water upstairs also, but I'm sort of, it's not much money. I don't know how much it is per month. 30, 40, $50 a month or something for the gas. So that's not like too bad, but still, I mean, and then when it's kind of a warm country and he's got this little tiny freezer out in the back here, it's filled with water. And he says, all you got to do is plug that in for an hour or two and the water gets nice and cold. And then you can take a cold, just sit in there. He likes a cold, not bath, but just something cold water to sit in for a while. It makes your body feel nice. So, and I think, oh, no, not for me. And so, but when he showers, he likes it really hot. So he turns the hot water heater like way up. So I have to pay for the hot water heating. It's not much money, but it's the principle of the point to me. It's the point is, if you're going to make me pay for the hot water, then at least try to pay your share. It's not the same as in Canada, that's for sure. And if it's supposed to be a furnished place, then let's have it furnished. I can't take anything back with me. Let's have some pots and pans. And so I'm not going to buy that stuff and I have to leave it here. I can't take it with me. So tiny little things like that add up to be one big thing at the end of the day. So what I'm going to do here is for the next part of this month, I'm going to look and see if I can find maybe a hostel or rent an apartment or rent a house or rent something in Playa del Carmen. I like it there. It's about an hour and 15 minutes away. And yesterday I went there, and it costs 104 pesos to take an audio bus. It's called audio, ADO, audio bus there. Very nice bus. It's got a bathroom in the back, a toilet in the back there. Very comfortable. They put a TV on a screen. There's several TV screens in there. You can watch a movie on your way. Very comfortable, like a big tour bus, not a city bus, a great big tour bus. Rides nice. And it was 104 pesos, which is $5 US, which is $7 Canadian. $7 Canadian. So a return trip, $14. That was $15, just about. And then I had a couple of good meals there. Cost about, again, another $20 for the two meals. And what else did I spend? I went to visit some ruins, the Mayan ruins that were there. Spent a day on the rest of the day on the beach. It was just crowded on the beach. My goodness, wow. There was a lot of people out, lots of volleyball games happening on the beach there. Sounds like moving would be a wise idea. Yeah, I know. And you see, that's the thing. I contacted him and I said, well, what about the toilet? It doesn't flush properly. Get a real guy in here, to plumber or something. Let's figure this out. And he says, well, I'll buy you a toilet. We'll put that in. But the guy he gets to do the work, like, they don't work like they do in Canada. When they get a job in Canada, they do their work. But here they do it at their own pace. I'll bet there's a lot of people that want to check out Mexican life on YouTube. I realize Mexico is a nice place to visit. And it's probably a nice place to move to also, to live. But you have to understand and expect the way life is here. Cancun is a population of 1 million people. And on every street corner along the streets, there's all street vendors and people just sitting on the sidewalk selling their goods and selling food. And there's no cleanliness. They're using their bare hands to make this food. And you learn not to eat at certain places because, if you're not from here, there's all kinds of diseases and all kinds, that you can catch. So you stay away from certain places. Go to restaurants where they're, probably better prepared. But the cleanliness is not good here. The streets are now. You look down the streets and wow, you see, holy smokes! Look at the garbage everywhere. And every once in a while they pick it up. We have a garbage can out in the front of the place here. Every morning they go by picking up garbage, but sometimes they just don't. They grab the next door neighbor's garbage can and not this one. Or sometimes they'll just take out a few things off the top and leave the rest. Like, wow. So I have no contract with Benny. I told him there's nothing written. We don't have anything written on what I'm supposed to pay and what you're supposed to take care of and what's here. And he says, we don't need the contract, so I can just get up and go whenever I feel like. I paid for this month, so it gives me time to look for something else. But I just would feel bad just kind of leaving him hang, just like, I don't know. We had a new ruling passed that means every bus trip between two major terminals is only £2 one way until the end of March. So you could travel most countries for 15 pounds. Oh, cool. How much is a pound for Canadian money? Is that like double? So like a terminal would be $4 Canadian or $30 for in the countries. I know a pound is much more than a Canadian dollar. I'll bet there's a lot of people want to check out Mexico. Mexico is one of the countries in the world that a lot of people go to. There are some countries, I guess, which would be nice to go to, but you don't really want to go to them because of, war situation or something like that. Mexico is pretty open. You can come here, no problem. $1.63 Canadian. Okay, well, it's over 1.5 times. So, wow. Whereas US to Canadian is, I think it's 70 some cents difference. Ours is, we owe 70, our dollar is worth 75 cents, between 70 and 75 cents American. So when you figure out pesos, it's half, like 100 pesos is $5. 1,000 pesos is $50. So, and the 100 pesos is $5 US and about $7 Canadian. So it cost me 104 pesos to get to Playa del Carmen. It all depends on the day and what the exchange rate is that particular day, but it bounces around, Yeah, okay, yeah, 135. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Our dollar is worth 75 cents, 70 cents. Well, 65, 70, yeah. It bounces around. But. So anyways, peso is, I usually, when I convert to know how, after a while, you don't bother converting. It is what it is for cost. So many pesos you pay. It's knowing the numbers when they say the number of how much something costs. You have to know how to count. Otherwise, I always have to look at on the till. I have to look at what the numbers are, as opposed to when they say what the number is. Like 135. I don't know what the word for 100 is. And 35 is not the same. They say 30 and 5. It's not like in Canada where they say 35. It's 30 and 5. And 30 is not cuatro or tres. It's, I don't know what 30 is. So from 1 to 10 is okay. And then 11 to 19 is funny. And then the 20s are all the same. 30s and 40s and 50s are all the same. Cincuenta is 50. Cincuento is 60. Cincuente is 70. It's weird. And if you don't know what they're saying, and they speak so fast. So yeah. It's quite the deal. So I really don't know what to do with Benny here. When he comes in, I'm sitting facing the front window, and I'm sitting right at the window, sort of facing outwards. And when he comes in, he doesn't even look at me anymore. So he said, if you need anything, let him know. And I let him know, but nothing ever happens. So I don't know. Anyway, it's funny, nobody, Sharon's not here, Michael's not here. There's a few of them that said they were going to show up today, and they didn't. That's why I prepared a kind of a slideshow for them, but they didn't show up. Or they haven't yet anyway. And last night it rained like crazy. Today it's a little cloudy. And it really rained hard last night. On to pastures new. Yeah, and like I said, my whole trip yesterday to Playa was like less than $50 to go there and back and have a couple of good meals. I did some, I don't know if you know what geocaching is. I found a couple of geocaches, left 4 travel bugs. If you know what geocaching is, you know what travel bugs are. Left 4 travel bugs in the one place. It was a restaurant owned by a Canadian who lives there, sports bar, as a bar and a restaurant. I went and had a beer there and a sandwich. I had a club sandwich there. And then he has a geocache that was big enough to put some travel bugs in. I left 4 there that I brought from Canada months ago. October, I think I maybe even before that, September, maybe. Yeah, my shorts lately are not doing too well. They only got like a couple hundred views. I just put a short out this morning about a restaurant in Vancouver. It's called Bonds Off Broadway. It's a little small restaurant. They allow you to do graffiti on the walls everywhere, in the restaurant, in the washroom. But the short was graffiti that was in the men's washroom. They're everywhere. Every square inch of the place has got graffiti written on it. I put my graffiti there too. I had stickers from my before when I was called King Tut Hut. Before I was called Nomadic Vanman, and I had a round sticker, and I stuck it up way up high on the wall. It's still there today. So 5 years ago, I put it there, and it's still there. But every square inch, the menus that you look for what you want to eat has got graffiti on it. The napkin holders, not so much the silverware or the plates. It's a greasy spoon, but the food is not too bad at all. It's very good price. $2.95 Canadian for a breakfast, like 2 eggs, a big thing of ham, potatoes. That's not including the coffee. So with the coffee, it's like $5, and it's a very, very good breakfast. It's like amazing. It was the taste was pretty good, but when you go in there and look at the place, you wonder, what kind of food do they have here? What, like, are they clean? But like I said, in Canada, all the restaurants they have people that go around and check and make sure that the places are clean, and if you pass, well, then you can stay open. Otherwise, you have to close your doors. I love places that remind me of old rock and roll dive bars. Yeah, this didn't have it had a jukebox in it with bubbles that would go around it, but you could play. There wasn't records in it. It had, what do you call it? No DVDs or nothing like that. It was all, you could pick your song from whatever Wi-Fi, not Wi-Fi, whatever kind of music you had in there. It was digital. Anyways. No one knew the greasy spoon. Oh, they use greasy spoon in Canada, that's for sure. Yeah, if you go and look at that short when you have time, my last one, the men's washroom, even the mirror. Now I understand. I haven't been in the women's, but I understand in the women's washroom it's exactly the same way, except the mirror. There's no. They got to have the mirror to keep themselves looking pretty, But in the men's, even the mirror, the urinal and the toilet have nothing written on them. Other than that, on the lights, all over on the ceiling, as high as you could reach, there's graffiti, paintings, art. People would stand up on their seats in the restaurant part and paint on the walls. They have permission to write anywhere, anything, I guess. And we met the owner a couple times, and like I said, they have to pass examination to make sure that the restaurant is clean. So yeah, I don't know if they probably use the expression greasy spoon in the US too, but in Canada, they use that expression, which is, I've seen some places that were like a real dive is what they call it, a real dive, the greasy spoon. I don't know if you'd even want to eat there. That's the way it looked. And this place looks that way too on the surface when you go there and you sit in the booth or wherever to have something to eat. You look around and I have videos of the place that I put out years ago, full-length videos about that. Oh man, more greasy, less spoon. Yeah, no kidding. You got to watch out for how clean the places are, and especially when you're dealing with food. What you're serving to people, the kitchen should be, well, I don't know. I don't know of a lot of kitchens that actually wear gloves even before COVID. Now they're even in Cancun here, they still wear masks, not in public, but the businesses, quite a few businesses still wearing masks to serve you. Not so much maybe Walmart, Soriana, the grocery store. Not too sure that way. But questionable food hygiene, yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. Here in Mexico, there's some places, I forget the term they call them, but they only open early in the morning until about noon. But they're on the street corner. They pull up their little four-wheeled wagon, and they have burners on there. They have propane sometimes they have charcoal. They make tacos or other things, and they're on the corners. And when you walk down the streets, they could be in the middle of the street, and then those ones close, and then some of them are open most of the day. Some only start at 6 o'clock in the evening, and then they open. But in my home city, they don't have that. Maybe in Vancouver or the bigger cities. I don't know about Calgary so much, but in Vancouver, they would probably have the street vendors also, but far and few between. But here in Mexico, they're everywhere. They're if you want a fast taco, just walk down any street and you'll find somebody selling something, like drinks, for example, coconut. They have coconuts. You just chop the top off and it's full of the coconut water still, just like it fell off the tree. You chop the top off. You can get a real coconut drink. Other drinks they sell like not popcorn, but things like popcorn. I don't know what they're made out of. They're little curly things, like a potato chip, only not hard like that. They're soft like a popcorn more. But they have those. They have like peanut brittle. I don't know if you know what that is. Peanut brittle. They have some of those, or cookies. I guess some things that they make at home. Fairy dust. Right on. Good morning. Happy New Year to you as well. My goodness, it's nice to see you again. I was actually going to put up a slideshow, but the people that said they were going to come didn't show up. And where is all my, I've been looking for my passwords for certain things, and I lost them. Because if you don't keep track of your passwords, you're lost. Because you don't want to make the same password for everything. The time frame begin without you're doing it. You're doing it wrong. You're doing this wrong. And I was going to have like those 6-lettered word things. I guess I could show you a few slides. I have some. But I could have the same slideshow next week also. No, I lost that information, too bad. But Brene, correct? I can't remember. Fairy dust. Brene? Geez. I'm never too good at any names. I am having a great time. I'm in Cancun, and I went to Playa del Carmen yesterday for the day. Took the audio bus there. Had a couple of great meals, went on the beach, stayed there till after dusk. And then came back on the bus last night. But I wouldn't mind going there to rent a place there. I'll just have to check out and see what the prices are. I like Playa del Carmen instead. That's what I thought, Brene. I just didn't want to say something and showing that, hey, that's the wrong name. People like to be called by their real name. There. That's one picture. Let's make that a little bit smaller. Make me smaller. You can still see me anyway. I can show you a couple of photos here. I got a few of them. Maybe I'll have to explain a few of them. This here is like when it's high tide, that is an island. When it's low tide, the water goes out for miles out there, for like miles away. That's how much water is moved twice a day, tide in and out. Now, yeah, that's another thing, Brene, about tacos. You cannot find a real taco in Canada anywhere. I don't care where you go. I don't care what the name of the business is. If they say that they have Mexican tacos, there's no such thing as a real Mexican taco in Canada, especially fish taco. Now here you get first time I ate a fish taco was like 10 years ago, but it was real tasty. I'm not too keen on fish to begin with, like sushi and things like that, but I couldn't even tell it was a fish taco. It was great. Loved it. But like I said, fish taco or tacos, period. You can't find tacos in Canada like you can here. Anyway, this island here, you can see how big the trees are on top of it. But from the bottom of this, where my mouse is, I guess if you can see my mouse, to the about up here is 60 feet. And the tide, this is the place where the highest tide in the world has been recorded. It was right here. The tide goes up as high as you can see till the highest tide in the world was 57 feet. So and that only happens when the sun and the moon are in line with each other, and it draws the water in up to this point to where the trees start. So when you're walking around down in the bottom here, you would think that this would be kind of slimy to walk on this, but no, it's like sandpaper. It's very rough. You get good grip, but you don't want to walk too far away from the steps that go back up to this level behind me. It's behind me. Walk way out somewhere, because when the tide starts coming in, you better know where the steps are to get back out of there. Otherwise, you're stuck. There's cliffs behind me. You can't get out of the water. The Canadian moose and syrup taco. Yeah. So this is this was a place called Burnt Coat. And across the way over here, you can see some land way over there. This is the Bay of Fundy. And across the way over there is a place where it's called the Flower Pot, where the high tide on the other side was over there. I think I have a photo from over there too. Might be in this batch here somewhere. This is from the same area. Nice colorful houses, the way they painted their houses. Beautiful, nice looking. This is a place called Shediac, New Brunswick, I think. This is a crab. It's huge, massive thing. If you were to stand right where my mouse is moving up and down here, you can stand on this rock. Your head would come up to about here. So that would be about 6, 8, 9 feet high, this from the rock to this thing. This is big. Here in South California is actually close one. Can get to foods, but nothing like Mexico. Yeah, right. Yeah, well, the closer you get to Mexico here, in the States, you can probably find some real Mexican food. Shediac. I guess they stopped with the crabbing there, or they didn't. Something to do with when I got there, anyways. That was a few years ago. I don't know if anybody recognizes this house. It's a famous house. It's called Anne of Green Gables. Now, if you've ever seen the movie or read the book, or this is on Prince Edward Island. This is where Anne of Green Gables was filmed or videoed or whatever. This is the house. You can go tour through this place. So if you know the name Anne of Green Gables, or you know the movie or the book, this is the house, Anne of Green Gables house. And I do have a video out from many years ago, though, that a tour I walked through the house and videoed. This is just still shots of the house. Here's another view of the house. And all the places that are mentioned in the book are around this, is on this property. So Anne of Green Gables. And this is a church from on Prince Edward Island also. I'll have to think of the name of the city. I can't remember the name of the city off the top of my head. Just a really old buildings there they had. Charlottetown. This is like a house built with not even bricks. These are just old rocks. Charlottetown, yes. Brings back some memories. Yeah, the church. Very European. Yeah, no kidding. Well, this is where the Europeans first landed, was on Prince Edward Island. So when they came here, the architecture is probably a lot of the same. I think there's one more. Yeah, this big cathedral. Another big church. Amazing And Montreal and in Quebec is all like this also, where the Parliament buildings are. And because it's this color, like rock, it gets weathered and it turns like a dark color. So that's the Parliament buildings are all like that. They're very dark stones like that, but very nice architecture, beautiful. Love the rock work. Oh, I can't remember what place this was. I don't think this was on Prince Edward Island. It was around Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, in there. But the stairs were, I didn't even want to go up there. Man, there was like 100 steps or more to get to the top of this hill. Like, wow, I just had to take a picture of the steps. And sure, to you, they're just pictures of stairs, but when you're there and you look at this and you get to see in 3 dimensions the whole thing, it's just like, wow. Okay, this is across if you see the land across the way there, that little black strip, this is the Bay of Fundy. And across the way was the very first picture we had of the highest tide in the world, 57 feet. And this is the other side. And this is called flower pots. I don't know why, but they're called flower pots. The water the tide comes into up about halfway up these rocks all the time. When it's highest tide and stuff, when the sun and the moon are pulling, then it goes up higher near the top of where these trees are. But right now it's low tide. And then when high tide comes in, this is all covered. These holes are all covered. This is where fish come in and hide. They come into here. There's hiding places for them to. Now, I don't have any close-up pictures of the rocks, but it looks like sandstone or something. And the tiny rocks are sticking out everywhere. It would crumble and fall apart. But when you go to take one of those little rocks out of there, you can't even chip away at to get anything out of there. It's like hard, like cement. Very hard. So it would take like many, many years for the tide coming in and out, in and out, in and out twice a day to carve away these places like this. It's amazing. Amazing place. I have long videos of this area, this place here at low tide. These are some of the plants that grow on the rocks there. They have these, whatever these are called, polyp type things, but they're full of water, moisture to keep the plant when it's low tide, to keep it so that it has moisture, I guess. I was just intrigued by the different kinds of plants they had. Oh, a big nickel. They had the world's biggest nickel mine is in Canada here. And this is not made of nickel, but it shows you a nickel. I'm right at the nickel mine. That's me there. It's a big nickel from, Brene, it is probably a seaweed of some sort. I don't know if you could eat those polyp things, but you could probably eat the leaves. People eat everything, so. So the nickel mine, you could take a tour through. I think they were still working the mine, but back in the day, in the 60s, 50s, 60s, maybe back then, is when they were in full. I can't remember the name of the city. I stayed there for a couple days, several days on my way across Canada, and I just had to stop in and view the nickel mine. This is from a hotel in Cancun, just their logo. The colors aren't correct. This sign and the symbol, the background is correct color, but the symbol here was in gold. So it should be a gold color. Usually, I don't know why I didn't make it gold color like it really looked that day, but I usually like to edit all my photos to make it look like what I saw that day. So, but this one, I didn't. I just liked the symbolism. There must be something a fish here or something. I don't know, but anyway, it was from a hotel. From the same hotel, I guess a place where the staff would come and sit and drink their coffee and smoke their cigarette or whatever they're going to do. This little place here that they would come and have their lunch or their time off anyway. Tour the nickel mine. Get bread. Branchitas. Coconuts. Now, from what I understand, okay, when you have a flower or a plant or an animal that's native to your country and it's your like they're not necessarily native. What do you call that? When you're not allowed to pick coconuts from the tree. If it falls on the ground, you can pick it up and take it, but you can't go up the tree and pick coconuts. It's illegal to do that. Their national plant or whatever it is, coconut. So I just saw a bunch of coconuts up there and I thought I'd take a picture of it. Oh, okay. You're wondering, what the heck is this? Number one cause of death in tropical countries. No way, really. It's 9:50 a.m. here. I'm listening, but making coffee. Okay, we're having a slideshow, so get your coffee, come back, sit back, relax. I just finished a coffee myself. 9:50. What? 9:50? Holy smokes. You must be really in the western part of the... Wow. Anyway, it's 12:50 here. Oh, this picture here was just a barrel was sitting out on the sidewalk with water, and it was a blue barrel. There was a yellow barrel and a blue barrel. It was the water that was in it. I had to take a photo of the reflection. No big deal. People fall asleep under trees and boom, they wake up. They wake up dead. They wake up unalive. Yeah, no kidding. And the coconut's filled with the pulp and the liquid, the water. The dock. Along right behind, again, you have to explain. Behind me is Hooters restaurant. And I just thought I'd take a picture down the dock there. On this side here, the water that these boats and everything in is the lagoon, not the ocean. So this is the lagoon side. That's where all the alligators are. Not alligators, crocodiles. Sorry, I keep saying alligators, but crocodiles. And the water, they say, used to look just like the ocean. The turquoise color, people would swim in there. But this is salt water, but it's full of crocs. And the water in places smell like a sewer. It's just, it's not very nice anymore. Not like it used to be. Like when Santos, my dentist driver, when he was a kid, they used to go swimming in here. There was no crocs. Every year, somebody gets killed by a croc there. A Mr. and Mrs. They're made out of metal bars of some sort. The whole thing is metal. Mr. and Mrs. At first, I thought they were like spoons and forks and stuff, but no. And I don't know what it is with Mexico, why they like the skeleton. The skull, you see, they're skulls. And they're everywhere, these skeleton things. Their graveyards are really weird. The people are like in little tiny, they're cremated or something, and then they're put in little houses. I bet a feeding would get a croc feeding. Well, I poked that one in the nose. Remember my shorts? I have a short video of I had a long stick and I poked the crocodile in the nose, and he tried to take a chomp out of the stick. Well, I got some flack from somebody saying, how would you like to be? Yeah, really, metalheads. How would that be if that was you? Would you like that? I guess they were upset that I poked a croc in the nose. But I mean, I know crocs and alligators can jump pretty high. He could have jumped right out of there at me, but he didn't. He swam away. They feed them here. They throw chickens and stuff in there and they feed them. So that's, I threw a coconut. I seen him way out there, and I threw a coconut out, nowhere near as far as he was away, but he obviously heard that and or sensed that or whatever, and he had to come over and see what was going on. And then when he came over close enough, that's when I poked him with a stick. I wasn't trying to kill him. I was just trying to rile him up a little bit. He had this big, massive bump on his back. It was like he swallowed some person's head. This was from a place called La Isla, the island. It's a big mall area. Poking a croc with a stick is by far the least worrying thing. You do that on a daily basis. I don't know, some sort of pirate. I don't remember why he was standing where he was, but then they have a Mr. and then they have a Mrs. Pirate. And they still have Christmas things hanging around in places every now and again. Because they honor the dead. Yes, yes, they do. Dila los metros, meritos. The skeletons is the meaning of the Day of the Dead. Yeah, and when I went to Chichen Itza, I think, or one of those places, one of those tour places, I went through a graveyard, and they have tiny little houses, no bigger than 2 feet across by 2 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet. But they look like they're shaped like a house or a building, and they're very, very fancy made, and those are where people are supposedly buried there. So I imagine they're cremated. They're too small to have the like. But anyway, they really honor their dead. You can find those skeletons everywhere in the stores. They're on T-shirts. They're just everywhere. The Day of the Dead, yes. Here is I guess, a warrior, maybe a Mayan warrior. I think it is meant to be Long John Silver. Oh, hey, that could be, or possibly Blackbeard with a peg leg, and his wife Mary, Mary Omand. Wow, cool. So this was in a store in La Isla, one of the many stores there. This figurine, I don't know, it may be maybe 20 inches tall. And Fuego Eterno. Eterno. Don't know quite what that one means, but it's some woman who's got a flame, a torch. These were on that same counter. And I think there's another one, a slave maybe. This guy here, he's tied up. Now, I don't know why he's tied up like that with this cord. He's probably tied up so somebody doesn't steal it. If you try to run away with it, it's tied up. I don't think that's part of the, but I don't know why this is. Or maybe he's a dancer of some sort. But it's like the color is what you see it, what it is, but I don't think it's a total, well, it could be metal. Maybe not. I'm not too sure. Eternal Fire. Yeah. This was all in that one store. When you go to the silver shops looking for rings or something like that, necklaces, they got some pretty big ornaments, supposedly silver. Oh, the flowers really intrigue me there, like why they are the way they are. Like you can't see, this picture doesn't do that justice, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these round blobule things at the end of this, but it sticks way out from the yellow part. I don't know how insects fertilize this, but I think I have another picture of this. Yeah, see this one here, like there's the yellow little, probably full of pollen, and then these five things here that are inviting to insects anyways to come and gather the pollen. That last figure was playing Paka Talk, a Mayan ball game. Maybe that's what he was doing. Let me go back to that. And there's the ball. Yeah, there's the ball there. You're right. I went to watch one of those games. One of them actually scored a goal, and then it was in the evening. And so they hit this ball with their hip. They can't hit it with their feet. But they would set this ball on fire. Later on, they played it without on fire, and then later on they would set it on fire. And yeah, I watched a game. I think that was when I went to Chichen Itza. Chichen Itza is famously known for their big pyramid they have there. But anyways, yeah. Well, they have a place in Cancun here called, I know you called it Paka Talk. I guess that's what they call it. But the place that they have here is called Poktapak. Pokto or Ta, Pokta, or maybe Da, Pok. More of these flowers, like the flowers are made like this for some reason. Why they have these long things sticking out there? It's inviting for the plants to come in, or the insects to come in. But the foliage here is very intriguing to me. I like the plants and things and how they are and why they are the way they are. Oh, when I went for a walk one day, that's these little gecko type things. They're so fast and you can't get close to them. So I'm sitting several feet away, and I didn't have my telephoto lens with me, so I couldn't get any closer to this. Otherwise they run down into this hole down here with this wiring. There's just this hole there. And it's just wide open to the public. You could step in there. Nobody puts anything over it. That's what I mean about the sidewalks are you got to look down, and when you walk, it's like they don't have that. I've never seen that in Canada anywhere, like the streets the way they are and the sidewalks. But anyway, like I said, it is what it is, and you got to learn to live with it. Another flower with the same kind of things at the end. Like, why would an insect go way inside there, try to collect pollen when it's probably, well, I mean, I guess that's what it's why it is where it is to invite the insect to land on there. And colorful leaves and flowers. That's all that is. Like nothing like this in Canada anyway that I know of. Most of the plants here are, built for the weather that we have here. Now, these are, everybody knows what these are, but these grow wild. And here in Canada, there you pay money to buy these at the flower shop or the plant store and take them home. But here they just grow wild. Like amazing. Now, this is a corner. Most things here are open air. There's no walls and stuff. They got a roof, but it's open air otherwise. And I have next picture coming up is all the chickens, but he's cooking chickens down below here. And he saw me taking a picture of them, so he give me the thumbs up. But he cooks all these chickens, and then you can buy, like, I think it's half a chicken with rice and whatever. I took mine with me for 90 pesos. Like I said, 10 pesos is $5. So 90 pesos, you get a, maybe I got that's a quarter. No, it was a half a chicken. The one in Playa del Carmen was much better. I get a quarter of a chicken, which is, I could hardly eat it all. And you get potatoes and you get rice, a nice big meal for 95 pesos and a Coke or a drink of some sort, the size of a Coke. Yeah, and this was the chickens here that they, pollo, Pollo, pollo. Yeah, birds probably come into effect too to do the pollinating. You're absolutely correct there, Brene. So these are a pollo. It's funny when you see a one L by itself in a word, you pronounce it the L, but when there's two L's, it's a Y sound, pollo. So Pollo is pollo, chicken. Pollo soup, pollo right here, half a pollo. That's the chickens he was cooking. And then I guess this is on charcoals. So they get the fire going, they cook them all, and then they put them in a, well, they're called a cooler. They put them in the cooler, hot, and they keep them there. And then as people come in and sit, I think behind him, yeah, there's seats and stuff behind. You could sit down and he'll serve you there, or I took mine with me. Oh, there's the coolers back there. That's what they put them in when they're finished. So, pollo. Yeah, you know what you're talking about. There you go. You could order that. Asada pollo, de pollo. Yeah, you're correct. Grilled chicken. Right on. Now, those kind of words, most people, not most, but quite a few people here speak English. So it's hardly even kind of, I don't have a chance, or because I don't have to, I don't learn Spanish that well. I know certain words, but it'd be nice to know phrases, like sentences. Puedo tomar tu foto? That's, can I take your picture? Or can I take your photo? Puedo tomar tu foto? Certain things, but I don't know. All right, carne asada. You're correct. But these were good. Very good. I took it home, had a little bit of rice. They should give you a little bit more rice. But this was 90 pesos for half a chicken and less than half a cup of rice with some really hot sauce that you could put on, all in little baggies. But when I went to Playa del Carmen, I got a quarter of a chicken, which was still lots of meat, but lots of rice and whole round potatoes, all cooked on the same grill, and everything was great. This is the little coffee shop, Cafecito, Cafecito Negro, which is little black coffee shop, or little black coffee shop, and I always get a Cafecito Negro, which is a black coffee, but I can't drink black coffee yet. I should learn to, but I always get mine with leche, milk, cream, milk, and I have to put some sugar in. But this is the little place here. I go there so often, they know already to what I'm there for. I go there, I don't even have to order. It's very small, maybe 10 feet long, 4 feet wide. And every night when they're finished, they just close the hatches and lock it up. It just stays there. It's got no wheels. The wheels are taken off. Cafecito Negro. Oh, and these were the two girls that worked there that day. They have several girls that work there, but the reason they're over here, to the right of the picture, is that little the little cart. They didn't want their picture taken, so I just turned the camera on. That's why it's kind of blurry. I turned the camera on, took a quick shot. They didn't want to be in the photo at all, so I stuck one in there. Now, as I was sitting there having my coffee, these round circles in the background, you can probably guess what those are. Those are that's my mobile phone. That's the cameras on. So you know how small the cameras are on the back of a phone. They're very tiny. So you can see that flower that fell down and landed on my how big it is. It's all smaller than the lens of my camera. So I had to take a picture of it. Kind of a nice looking little flower. It's amazing. It's so tiny. Yes, cinnamon coffee. I don't know if you know or if I've seen my shorts that I have here. There's one called horchata. Well, not, you don't say DH. Horchata. That's a drink. It's a rice drink made from rice water, and then a little bit of added extra water in there, and cinnamon and sugar, and it's a great drink. Horchata. You like their tables, but yeah, they do like cinnamon. But you can't buy almost like let's say potato chips or peanuts, or not necessarily chocolate bars, but most foods like that have got pepper on, like peppers or chilies, like potato chips. If you don't look carefully, you're going to get potato chips with chili flavored, or peanuts chili flavored, or like hot. Everything they eat is like hot, spicy hot, not heat hot. Their tables. Oh, their tables and their chairs. Yeah, and they just sit out there. And like I said, everything is open air in here. Yeah. Um, I purchased the first time I tasted it, it was great. So I went out and purchased it's a 1 liter bottle, but it's very, very, very thick, and it makes 4 liters out of that. So it's concentrate. So I bought that, and then I just fill a glass or a liter with water, and then I put enough of this horchata in there to make a drink. Nice drink, love it. Oh, have a look at this one. I think we're just about at the end of the photos here. But these are like snow cones or snow. The saying down at the bottom there is uh, snow ice cream. But just the shape of them was amazing to me. It was an advertisement for these on the side of a building, so I had to take a photo of it. Yeah, I think this is the last photo. And if you look really closely, it's funny how water turns things upside down. Like in the water drop here, it's not clear, of course, because that's not what's in focus, but it was the and there's one up top here too, a water drop. Now, if I was thinking, I should have photoed this with this water drop in focus and had a shot like something like about that. Or can I get far enough away to get both in there and have just the water drops in focus? That would have been a nice shot. I didn't have one of those to eat. This is some the picture just down on the wall, and I thought, what the heck? They're like popsicles, I guess. What kind of company would do that? Yeah, this is the last photo here. So thanks for sticking around and watching. So yeah, my goodness, quite the photos there. Oh, what have I got going in the background there? Banner. I can turn that off. There we go. There we go. Oh wow, hour and 17 minutes. Side been on. Let me pull this forward. Yeah, it was a few photos I had still. I got a whole bunch more from Playa del Carmen yesterday, but I haven't gone through them and see which ones are kind of a little bit worthy to put as a slideshow. I'm going to have to pick certain ones. The beaches were full. I was at like right on the beach. There's a place where they have see, I don't know the names of them, where the four guys, actually five guys, go up this really tall pole, and one guy sits on the top playing a little tiny drum, bing, 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 and four of them hang upside down and they swing around, and they're swinging upside down until they get to the on a rope, until they get to the bottom, and that's not just off the beach on the concrete, and I was sitting in this place where there was some benches there. I just sat there, put my goggles on, took my Avata drone and flew up. So that'll be coming up on a long video where I show them guys coming down there from a drone's perspective. Like it was just great. What a shot. I went around and around and around like this, following them all the way down. But I flew over the beach. It was just crowded, amazing amount of people. You should fake like you're doing van life in Mexico. Just show a different van every week. Yeah, I don't see any vans. I haven't seen a van here that's like mine, of course, but I haven't even seen a regular van. I did see one parked. Never moves because it's the wheels are flat and it's just sitting there halfway across the sidewalk. You have to walk around it. Well, thanks for enjoying the photos anyways. I usually edit all my photos because I want to make it look like what I saw that day. So Oh, well, cool. I have enough for videos for a little while anyway, but it's always behind the times. Like you probably won't see the Playa del Carmen one for a week or two. There's another winter drink made with Miranda's Mexican chocolate and cornmeal, not to mention other major ingredients to make this drink. It's called champorada. Champorada? Oh, really? I'm gonna have to look that one up. Champorada. Is that how you say that? Champorada? That's one thing. Once you kind of learn how the language, how the alphabet is, it's you can usually pronounce any word, even if you don't know what the word is. There you go. Show that broken down van. Say you're living in it, and you might get a donation. I don't know if people would like that though. Uh, Sometimes you get people saying, giving me shit for like poking that crock in the nose. Is it like two people gave me shit for that, saying like, why would you do that? Well, it made me feel bad. Like, I don't know. It's not that I was trying to kill them or nothing. I like animals. Like, I have to either get a green screen or purchase StreamYard so that I can put a kind of a fake green screen. There is, even in the free one, you can do something, but it's not as good as when you purchase. Yeah, I'll be looking forward to that there stuff, Rob. What you have coming up. Like Brene says, yeah, awesome, cool, can't wait. Grandma's Mexican chocolate. I meant Grandma's Mexican chocolate. I'm gonna look that one up. They might even have that at that Cafecito Negro place there. Oh, here we go. Chamorado. Chamorado. Okay, if you know Mexican a little bit, what's Caro? Caro. And I think that's the word car. Now, hang on, let me find out what this other word is. Caro. Oh, caro is expensive. Okay, caro is caro is expensive. Carro is pronounced carro, but that's a car or cars. So caro, and carro is expensive car. So you would say it carro, or caro, expensive car. It was fine, I suppose. On YouTube, two complaints is not a lot. Well, for me, I'm such a small YouTuber that I don't. It wouldn't really matter if people complain anyway. What am I gonna? Uh, uh, I guess it doesn't matter. Even if I was even if I had thousands and thousands and thousands of like a million viewers, having somebody say something bad about you, what's that going to do? Absolutely nothing. So, I mean, having somebody say something bad about what I put on a video is not going to hurt me, is it? Going to try and sneak a camera into the local museum. They're kind of anti-filming. Is that where you're from there, Rob? Well, from here, though, especially in Canada and the US, if it's a public place, you're allowed to video. You're allowed to video, even in a police station. It's a public place. And I follow some of those guys that's what they do. Their channel is all about going to these places on purpose to see if they'll honor their First Amendment, their rights to video in places, and they get chewed right out. But it's perfectly legal. There's nothing illegal about it. So I really like that. And some people say, well, why? That's what they're doing on purpose to get a raise out of these guys. Well, if they knew the law, though, make sure you're not nearby animals active that get you. Yeah, well, I've been near these iguanas. They don't let you get close to them. But I mean, if you would corner one or something, he might try to attack you. And I don't know if you've seen my other videos there, Brene, with the Kwati, 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 Cuito, Kwati, but it's pronounced Kwati. They're like, they're called the Mexican raccoon. They have long tails, like kind of a monkey with a long nose, but they look like a raccoon. I don't think they bite. I got one so close I could have touched them. And in this spot here in Mexico, they don't let you touch them. But in other Mexican places, they come right up to you. They clamber up your legs trying to get some food. But yeah, I don't want to be bitten by anything, not for fear of being bitten, but for fear that you might catch something. Champarato. Okay. Champarato. I'll have to order some of that once. I'm going to go to the Cafecito Negro over here. It's only about 4 blocks away. I usually walk there and get a coffee, and I have a card here that I get stamped every time I go there. So when I get it full, I get a free drink. I'm trying to spell out Spanish. Well, once you know how the letters are pronounced, it's easy. Well, when you get like the hard part is when you get one L in a word, or like that CARO and CARRO. When it's got 2 R's, it's like you have to roll your tongue to say it. Otherwise, it's almost the same word. But pollo, when you get 1 L, you say it as an L, but when you get 2 L's together, it sounds as a Y. Pollo, that's chicken. All the vowels. I love the Spanish language in the way that the way it works. Like the vowels in English, the A, E, I, O, and U. Forget the Y part. A can be A and A, or it's got 2 sounds. That's why English is one of the hardest languages to learn. E is E or E. I is I or I. O is O or U. But in Spanish, all the vowels sound exactly the same all the time. One sound, and that's it. And A is always sound as an A. A-H, like A. Never a long A. E is always E. Never E. So when you see a word, you always pronounce it A or E. The A. The I is the funny one. The letter I. You say E. So when you see the letter I in a word, it's always pronounced E, the long E sound. O is always like an OH. O, it all depends how you push the air. Put your tongue. O. And U is U. So there you go. COATI, Koti. That's it, but it's pronounced with like a Q on the front, like Koti, Koti. For misspelling in English. No worries. We know what you meant. I meant the animal activists, people that get upset when other people are messing around with animals. But no matter where you go, there's some, yeah, through this park that I go to over there, I have it on my videos where I meet up with these 20 of these little koti animals. There are signs on the walkways that's saying, don't feed the animals. Of course, they find their own, but people do. They feed the animals anyway. But they come out of these koti things. They come out of the bushes, and I was sitting somewhere. I saw one, so I would just sat still, and he came real close, and then all of a sudden there was 20 or 30 of them around me, checking me out, and I had coughed one time, and poof, they scattered. Well, first, before this happened, they were digging and foraging and climbing in the trees and were coming near me. And all of a sudden, they just totally scattered, gone, poof. And I wondered what happened. I didn't hear anything. I didn't see anybody scare them or anything. I wondered, why did they run away? And I just sat there for a little while, and then they came back. And as I had to clear my throat, so I coughed, and poof, they were gone. Not very far, but then they came back again. But they're cute little things. And I have some, one of my last videos that I put out, I was holding my camera, and he came and put his nose right on the camera. That's how close I was to him. They're cute little things. And they make like a little tiny chirping sound. Speaking of flowers, the hibiscus flower is also made of a dark red sweet drink. Yes, you're absolutely correct there. Not sure if you tried it. Yes, I did try that. Called Jamaica, which is pronounced Jamaica. Jamaica. I don't know. I've seen that word Jamaica though, but I did try that drink. Yes. Yeah, I really like the plants here. Even just your simple trees that don't have any flowers or anything. There is one plant out the front here. It's always got buds, and when you see the bud, you know that tomorrow it's going to be a full flower, and then it's flowers for a few days, and then it falls off. But if you look closely at the plant, it's got a whole bunch of buds coming there. They start off with small, green, and then they get a little bigger, but they're green. And then when they're still a bud, though, you can see the red folded up. You can see the red part in it. And then the next day, they're full flower. And then they don't stay flowers very long, 1 or 2 days, and then they fall off. It's kind of a shame to see them all fall off like that. But yeah, and then there's yellow ones that are basically the same. I have some in the back of the yard here. He says they're orange tree. I don't know what an orange flower looks like, but they're tall. They're not petals. They're just a tall flower with white parts in it. It's hard to explain. I do have some. I did show a slideshow of those. So you think filming a van and saying this is my new home while I'm in Mexico, you think that would go over? Like I said, I don't get too many people looking at my videos anyway. So what would be the difference? I guess I would get some feedback on. I would get some feedback on that anyway. So here I am. This house here that I'm living in, that the front door has got a gap in it by maybe a half an inch gap underneath the door. I can see daylight underneath there all the way out. And those little tiny gecko type things that they can crawl on the wall. I don't know how they stick on things, but they can climb up a wall, no problem. But anyways, I'm facing out to the front. There's a big sliding glass door there and one on my side here. That's why it's so bright on this side. there's a big sliding glass door here and one straight out. I'm looking straight out to the front yard there. And the front door is there. And I'm sitting here doing something on my computer, and I could see one of those little geckos. He came in under the door, and there's some stuff over there in the corner. And he had to go over there, and I could see him getting something, eating something, like maybe a little fly or something. Or he was catching little flies. And then when I got my camera out, he and stood up to take a picture of him. Well, I did corner one in the corner and tried to take some photos of it, but he was probably panicking. But they jump around, and out the door he went really fast. Well, I think I did have a mouse on the counter in the kitchen one day, because I had some cookies in a long tube. And I don't know if I heard something in the night, but then when I got up the next day, I found 2 cookies on the floor. One was just in the middle of the floor, and the other one was up against the counter. But you could see it all the way around. You could tell it was a mouse that chewed all the way around it. So, in my van, I had a mouse in my van, several. Well, that's another story. But anyways, I thought, well, I'll go get some mouse traps. Well, you can't find a regular mouse trap here. So I go to one of the stores that I said best I could to tell him I needed a mouse trap. Well, he comes out with this huge trap that traps them live. And I thought, well, that's cool, but I don't need to spend that much money. Haven't you got any of this small mouse trap? So he brings out that big rat trap. And I thought, okay, for whatever pesos it was, I'll take it. So I took it, and right. I should have left some milk out. I'm thinking, though, I set this trap. I never did catch him. I never heard him since that time, so he must have gone away. But I also bought these things that are real sticky. So if he would put his little feet on there to eat the stuff that's in the center, he would get stuck there. But I never did catch him. I never did hear one after that, or nothing else happened. But anyways, this mousetrap, I'm sure if he would have gotten caught in that mousetrap, that would have cut him in half. Like that had such a spring on there that when that flipped, that would have that would have really chopped him up. Yeah, I use peanut butter, and he liked that cookie, so I put a little bit of peanut butter on a little piece of that cookie and put it there. Nothing to nibble on it since, so and I've had that there ever since. But nothing ever happened again, so I put them in the cupboard, out of the way. But yeah, it must have been. Well, I don't know what it was. I never did see it. Well, although I was sitting here at this table one time, and I saw out of the corner of my eye something scurry across the floor, and he must have went out the door, because the door is right there, and a mouse can go through a tiny hole. So he must have gone outside. But then one day I'm sitting here at my computer, and this huge beetle, like, believe it or not, that big, that long, big beetle just walked up. So I tried to squash him, but he was pretty big. I grabbed a piece of toweling and threw him outside. A massive beetle, never seen one like that before. North, Middle, Pacific Coast, what part of that country? I'm actually in Cancun, so I'm way on the east, right on the east tip of Mexico, the Yucatan. That's where I'm at. I went to Playa del Carmen yesterday, which is about an hour and 15 minutes away. I like it there. I don't know what the population of Playa is, but the population of Cancun is a million. Yes, yeah, the cuisine is much different no matter where you go. It all depends. There's some things that I've eaten already here at Cancun that you don't find anywhere else. I don't know what it was, but um, it's just some things are hard to learn. Like um, English might be one of the only languages that is considered backwards from all other languages, well, like German and French and Spanish, where all those countries thinks that English is backwards when you say the words. To me, they're correct. I guess it all depends how you view it. Like, for example, a sandwich, like a fish taco, a fish sandwich. In English, we call it a fish sandwich. I guess that would be when the verbs or the noun comes into play, but it would be what you're having on something like a sandwich. So a fish on a sandwich in a sandwich, or a tomato in a salad. Whereas in all other languages, it's backwards. They call it English backwards, but so they think it's forward. So you would say a sandwich fish. So you're talking about what it is you're talking about and what's on it. A sandwich fish or a salad tomato. It's in English, it's the other way around. So a salad, when you speak in Spanish, you would say a salad tomato or a sandwich fish, whereas in English, it's the other way. Which, when you speak, you have to know that. I could be saying, "Can I have a fish sandwich?" And they would look at me and saying, "What?" Well, they would get what I'm saying, but it's wrong. I don't think I've ever seen a desert rat. I've seen them on TV, on YouTube and TV, and scorpions. I've seen live scorpions in pet stores for sale, but I've never seen one. If you're going to camp in a tent and stuff outside in the desert, I'm going to be off the ground while they could crawl up. But that would scare me. I'd have to be in some sort of hammock or something, or snakes or something like that coming to check you out. And when you're in a different country, you don't want to get bitten by anything, not even a mosquito or video coming up. I was at this big, huge park. It's the park here. Well, this park anyway is not like anything anywhere. It's a jungle. It's not a park. There's just a pathway through and it's massive. I don't know how many acres this thing is. It's huge, but it's all jungle. You can look into the jungle and you can see 20, maybe 30 feet at the most, and then you can't see anymore. It's like a jungle. Yeah, the eastern. Actually, Cancun and this area here is the oldest. It doesn't have necessarily the oldest buildings and things, but it's where the Spaniards first landed when they came to Mexico to take over, is Cancun area. So Quintana Roo, the Yucatan. This is where they first landed here, but the oldest pyramids and things are like Mexico City, Mexico, like in the kind of the central Mexico. That's where the biggest pyramid on earth is in Mexico, not in Egypt. It's way bigger, but you don't get to see it all because it's kind of still covered up. Whereas, all those pyramids that you do see, like Chichen Itza, the pyramid there, well, because it's a tourist place, they keep the foliage back. But if you go away and after 100 years, the foliage just covers it up. You don't get to see it anymore. So when the Spaniards came, the Mayans were already gone 100 years ago. Before that, they left. A few scattered here and there, but 90% of them were all gone. So that when they went into the jungles, they found all these pyramids and their cities and stuff, and they thought, holy smoke, look at all this stuff. So, but the Spaniards came with, bad intent. They just killed everybody. Anybody else that they could see, they just kill them all. And they do have certain plays here at certain times of the year. And the play is, when I went to watch that Talk to Talk or whatever Rob was saying, that's called that ball game where they hit the ball with their hip and try to get it through those hoops. Right at that ball field there, they would have a play, and the play was the Mayan was sitting there making pottery or doing something, and a Spaniard come in riding a horse, and it was all in Spanish. I couldn't understand what they were saying, but it probably was saying like, we're here to conquer you or whatever. And then they hugged or something. I'm not quite too sure whether that would be the way it went down. I don't know the history well enough, and that's why I came here, and I'm going to learn that. Did the Mayans and the Aztecs, did they really like it when the Spaniards came here and took over their country? And the Spaniards were ruthless people, like the Spanish Inquisition. I don't really know whether the Mayans and I don't know whether they really liked that so much. They brought their religion, Catholic religion here, and the people here really, if you're into religion, they're into the Catholic religion. They really believe in it a lot. So that, if they're religious, they pray to the Catholic, and they're sounds legit. Conquered by hugs. Yeah. So I'm going to have to look up because in that play it sounded like the Spaniards came. They didn't show anything like how ruthless it was at the beginning, because the Spaniards wanted to kill everybody, and they almost did. They were pretty murderous. So I'm not too sure what. I mean, the Mayans had their own language, and the Aztecs had their own language, because my driver that drives me back and forth to the clinic, he's actually a Mayan, and when he went to school, he had to learn Spanish. So he said he didn't really like to learn Spanish. It was hard, but he knows 7 languages, not fluently all of them, but he knows French, German, English, Spanish, Mayan, and several other languages. Just enough to communicate, because that's what he does. That's his job. He drives people back and forth to the dentist. When it's my day to go in, he comes, picks me up, and takes me to the clinic. And then when I'm finished, he brings me back or takes me to where I want to go. So, and it's a free ride. I don't have to pay like a cab or a bus or whatever to get to these places. So, anyways, I don't know what I'm going to do next Sunday. Whether I'm going to show if I get some people that they said they were going to show up today, but none of them showed up. Sharon was supposed to show up, and not supposed to. I asked if they wanted to send any photos my way that I can, because Sharon used to send lots of photos to me. Michael said he'd like to come in every once in a while. He said to notify him when I'm on. So I did. I sent him a message half an hour before I came on saying, I'm on in a half an hour. Would enjoy your company. Blah blah blah. But I mean, it's no sense saying after like tomorrow or the next day, saying sorry, I missed your live. So you missed it. It's you got your own life to live and your own things to do. You don't have to say you're sorry. You're sorry. Just like my saying, it is what it is. You couldn't make it. Like that. That's okay. I'm not upset at all. That's not the deal. Those little gecko things, they sometimes jump on the windows here. They're so tiny, and like they bob their little head as a message. Like I have a picture of an iguana where I wanted to take his picture, and I walked a little bit towards him, so he made like he was going to go down his hole, and he was bobbing his head. It was probably like a warning. Yeah, I know you're here always, Rob. So even if you're at work, you pop in and say hi at least. I do try to watch videos and stuff. I can't. It's pretty hard for me to, even if I'm retired, it's still hard for me to make all the live streams and all. Like there was people I used to go to their live streams all the time. I can't make them. I don't go, so they don't. I guess they just, you fall away, and you don't go to them as much as you used to, and they don't bother coming to see you anymore either. So I'm thinking Benny is going to go somewhere. Looks like he might be. Yeah. Oh, he's going to get something out of his car. But he doesn't look at me anymore. Like, I mean, that must be too much. I appreciate each and every one of you that do find the time out of your day to come and visit. Like, that's incredible that you can actually take the time to come in and visit and spend the time out of your day to come by. So yeah, I got that pump going up there, that pressure pump. It must be annoying to him, but the only way to get rid of it is get somebody to work on it. Either fix the pump, fix the water system somehow, get the new toilet put in, and Sunday is his only day off. That things are still open. You can go and purchase these things, but then come Monday to Saturday, he works from like 9 in the morning till sometimes pretty late at night, and he's usually never home till 10 or 11. Sometimes he's home here at 6, shortly after 6, but in Canada that wouldn't be tolerated. I mean, or even in the US, work like that. You don't rent out your place and not have it the way your rentee would want it. And even he said that, I mean, I said, man, the way that people drive here is like incredible. And he says, yeah, third world country. That's the way they drive. And I thought, well, you're right. I did see 2 accidents. I didn't see them happen, but I saw 2 one was by himself. I guess he didn't turn the corner fast enough and he hit a light standard. And the other one was a motorcycle. He was laying on the ground. He was just, don't move, at least nothing broken like that is. But the way motorcycles drive here, like the main roads are not even main roads. It could be a single lane road. They still drive 2 side by side, and all the motorcycles go, or the mopeds, there's not big motorcycles. They go between the cars and pretty fast. And all the cars got to do is just make the distance between them a lot less, and you're going to hit something. So it's strange that you don't see more accidents than you do. I have actually been having trouble with my internet staying on YouTube all week long. It seems to be working right now. Oh, wow. You pay for your own internet, I take it, as opposed to like right here in the house. It's fast internet here. I'm really surprised. Very fast internet. When I upload a video, it's uploaded in no time, minutes, compared to when I live in the van. When I'm in my van, it's very, very slow because I have to get Wi-Fi from either fast food places like Wendy's or McDonald's or someplace like that, or find a TELUS service somewhere or a Shaw service somewhere. And it's still, sometimes it can take an hour or more to upload a 5-6 minute video. And shorts are really fast here. I'll put a short on, and by the time I finish filling out the whole part to the short, like the text for that, it's already uploaded, and I just say publish right away. So shorts and live streams do not add 1 second to your watch time hours. 4,000 watch hours in a year. They don't add 1 second. So if I'm on for almost 2 hours here right now, and if I've captured your attention for them 2 hours, I don't get 1 second of that put towards my watch hours. Same with shorts. I have some shorts out there that have over 2,000 views. Now, if it's a few seconds, 9 to 10 seconds video, but 2,000 views, I mean, they're probably watching the whole thing. It's pretty hard to not watch 10 seconds of a video. Make them shorter, the better. But I don't even get 1 second of that towards my watch time. So they're kind of useless. But I did get a lot of new subscribers through my shorts, as opposed to subscribers through my longs. My longs don't do that great anyway. They are what they are, and it's but I like putting them out, and I put them out simply to have a place where I go back and I look at my first videos to see where the heck have I been. I was there. I was in Halifax. I was in Nova Scotia. I was in New Brunswick. All them places. Like, it's so amazing. I'm here right now, and the days just go by. And yet I know that when I go back to Canada, I'm going to look back at these videos and say, man, what time did I have there? Holy smokes, look at that. I had a great time there. But it won't feel the same. It's like when you're here, it's just like, doesn't seem as fantastic as it is when you're finished and you go back home and say, oh, look at that. That was great. Took over a day to upload a recent video. Holy wow. Yeah, when internet takes that long, holy smokes. Lives only count if someone goes and watches it afterwards. I'm not even too sure about that. I went to look up how it's okay. It's because of the viewer. When you put a long video in, check this out and see if I'm correct or not. If you, let's say I'm ready to, I'm monetized, or I'm close to, or I am monetized. When you put a long out, it goes through the long YouTube viewer. When you watch it on YouTube, you're watching that through something called YouTube's long video viewer. When you watch a short, it's not played through the long video, YouTube's long video viewer. It's played through the short viewer. And when you have a live stream, if anybody watches it at the time it's on, or even after the fact, it's played through the live stream viewer. So there's 3 different viewers. So monetized minutes are only produced by the long viewer viewer, not through the shorts or through the live streams. So there is a way to cheat with the live streams anyways, is you can take the live and edit it. The minute you edit it, it turns into a video, which then when somebody goes back to watch, it's actually played through the video editor, not the long edit. Not it's played through the long video editor, not the live stream video editor. Shorts, I don't know how to make a short monetized. If you go on YouTube and look up, can you get any watch time through shorts and through live streams, you'll find that no, you can't. So even if you have to do it afterwards, check it out. Let me know if I'm wrong. Get back to me in an email or something. Let me know how to do it. Do you know vidIQ? I belong to vidIQ, and that guy on there explains a lot, like how lives and shorts work, and because they're in contact with YouTube people on YouTube. So maybe February 1st that would be cool. Start because shorts are monetized already, even if you're not monetized otherwise. Even if you have less than 4,000 watch hours, you can still monetize through shorts because they have, $1 million set aside for each month, that $1 million, but you have to jump through a big hoop. You need like 60,000 or 6 million views every month on your shorts to actually get any money. And that's sent to YouTube to you. It's not through your monetized part of YouTube, which the 4,000 hours. So I don't know. Things are changing all the time. So shorts, I know that not 1 second goes towards because I notice on my watch time it doesn't go up at all. I can go look at a short and say, this is the watch time for that particular short, but it's not added to my watch time on my longs where the monetization counts. For connections in my phone setting and reboot, I think tinkering did it. Oh. Yeah, Melon is another one like StreamYard. Melon is probably pretty good too. When you have finished the live, Melon uploads it as a video. Well, there you go. That might help. When it's as a video, now I have to edit it. I can go and I can click on the live. I can take out just 1 second off the front, and now it's a video, and post it back again. Well, I don't have to post it back again. It says it's going to take its time, might be all day, but then it turns it into a video. But the only part about that is this particular live right now, you're watching it, and over on the right-hand side is where the chat is. You can see the chat. You can see who's doing that. You can see who's typing in what. When it's changed to a video, that part is taken off. You don't get to see that anymore. That's why when I first started my lives, I used a different program. I didn't use StreamYard. I used OBS, because I wanted on the right side of my video of my live, I wanted the chat to be on there also. So somebody gave me shit and they said, why would you want to have that on by your face over here, all the chat that's happening, as we can see it over on the right? So you got it like doubled. Yes, it was doubled. But when I edit that video or that live, it takes the chat away, but the video still has that on there. So it'd be just like the chat is right there still. That's the only reason that I had that like that. So anyway, big deal. Did a whole live about developments and its upcoming changes about YouTube and its upcoming changes to its monetization. Very interesting. Yes, I agree. That's the thing with YouTube compared to TikTok or any of those other ones. There's another one called BTube, or it's another tube one that's going to start competing with YouTube, but they pay you by what other people think of your videos, not what. In other words, they have no control over what you get paid, whereas YouTube has control of everything. You have no control over anything whatsoever. You didn't sign no contract with them. They can do whatever they want with you. They're in control. And that's the difference between TikTok is not in full control. And this other BTube, whatever it is, I belong to it. I don't have any videos up there yet, but you're paid by what other people comment and what other people think of your content. That's how you're paid. They don't have any control over what's paid where and when and why. You can make just as good money. "31 days of shorts in December." Now my watch time has gone down, actually. It was at, you need 4,000 watch hours. Mine's at, it was at 2,800, almost 3,000 watch hours. And then I just went through a lull of some sort somehow, and I'm down to 2,100 watch hours. And it's been there for a long time. My content has gone up, my shorts and everything else, my lives and everything has gone up, but my watch time on my monetization watch time hasn't changed. It's staying at 2,100. My what do you call it? Shows me about that. My vidIQ. Let me just see if I can find it. YouTube. Let's go to. I'm at 2,100 in the last 12 months. The views I had in the last 60 minutes are 28. I have 836 views in the last 48 hours, 622 short views in the last 48 hours for shorts. I have 2,200 views in the last 7 days, 2,500 minutes watched in the last 7 days. That's minutes. And I have 1,245 subscribers. And I had 2,198 subscribers a month ago, or less than a month ago. So I gained almost 50 subscribers because of my shorts. So that has picked up for me. But my watch time is still 2,100 watch hours in the last 12 months. That hasn't changed. I'm nowhere near monetized. I'm not. See, that's another thing too. I'm not pushing to be monetized either. I don't really care. If I get I've had people that are subscribed to me that says, "Well, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that?" I don't really care about that. I don't really care about the monetization part. I'm not going to make a lot of money being monetized anyways. I mean, you have to be pretty big, high up there, but to make any money. It would be nice to make, when I'm living in my van, to make enough money to pay my gas for the month. That would be great. But I'm looking for a place to keep my videos because I am passionate about that, about where I put my videos. I'm passionate about the people that I do meet online. Thank you, Brene. I will enjoy. I'm here for another 4 more months. So come back and visit when you can. Make yourself a coffee. And like I said, back home, I don't have any friends. I just don't have friends. Then when I got on YouTube, the friends that I do have on YouTube are more valuable to me than anything. These people are actually my true friends. I mean, sure, everyone has. I don't have any friends back home that call me and say, "Hey, would you like to do something today?" That would be great. I'm the one that has to initiate. I've never asked a friend to go to a movie or anything. That's kind of, I don't know if that's kind of weird or not, but not necessarily women friends. I mean, guy friends even, like, how about we go for a beer, or how about we go for a coffee, or to do something. I'm either, if I want to do that, I'm the one that has to initiate the call and find out. Well, then, they're busy or what have you. But I've never had a friend call me and say, "Hey, we're having a bit of a get together. Come on along." Or how about go out for a beer or a drink or a coffee? Or the screen should be up there by the camera. The camera should be right out of the center of the screen, because I got to look up. Why am I looking at myself anyway? I can look at the camera. At least my eyes are pointing in that direction. But like I said, my family and my friends are my YouTube friends. I don't even get to see you. I don't know what you look like. Well, I guess sort of. I went to your lives and stuff, and I get to talk to you. But those are more my friends than my friends back home. Sort of just, it chokes you right up. Like, it's amazing. Like, there is a difference between being alone and being lonely. You can be alone and not be lonely. That's different. Although human nature is not to be alone. Humans are meant to be a group society, like a group of people. You're meant to gather and not meant to be alone. And lonely, you could be kind of maybe tricking yourself into thinking that being alone is being lonely is not. Being alone is, yes, you're lonely. You might not even know it, but that works. That's harder than on you than they say than smoking. Not on your body. It puts a chemical in your system that is not good. It's your rate of heart attacks and anxiety and everything else is much higher, especially when you have stuff like I do, like diabetes and what have you. I'm already susceptible to. I'll have to make a video on that one day, because I feel like I owe my subscribers a little bit more explanation than just like something fast on a live stream. But anyways, Rob, I think I'm going to keep my eyes open on the monetization thing problem there, whether shorts and lives and how they. I guess I could make my lives automatically go as a video and not as a live. But how many people go back and watch a whole, I've been on for 2 hours and 15 minutes, who's going to go back and watch 2 hours and 15 minutes as a video and not a live? I don't know. I wouldn't want to sit for. Thanks for popping in and staying here for that. You've been here since you were on before me. So I'm hoping that your time on here brings me at least 2 hours and 15 minutes of watch time. That would be fantastic. Ronney Braun was here for quite a while. He's probably still listening in the background. If not, beautiful. Love you, buddies. Brene came on. Yeah, well, I hope you get to monetize one day there, Rob. I hope we all do get there sometime. A lot of people quit before that time. They actually even quit. They don't just keep going and not ever get there. But I've noticed my 1 full year goes like a U shape, and now it's going back up again. So this lull part here, by the time that gets 1 year ahead until I get up there again, is going to be a long time. And you have to keep it up. You have to keep up where people are watching you. But if you look at my videos, I'm lucky to get 20 views, 30 views. And if it's a video that's 10 minutes, I don't even hold their attention for 10 minutes. If I look at my analytics, it says that people are watching my videos from 4 to 5 minutes long. Why make a 10-minute video and they're going to watch 4 to 5 minutes anyway? And then 85% of the people watching that video are non-subscribing people. So 85%, so 15% of 20 views are subscribers, which is what? 85% of 20 are non-subscribers that are watching that video. Yeah, you're in the same boat I am. If you get 20 views, you're doing really well. That's right. I don't think I've ever seen a video at 100. That's impossible. I've had some 20, some 30, well, maybe even some 40s. But let it be what let it be. So anyways, Rob on the road, it must be late in the afternoon for you. And Ronney is probably roughly the same time as me, if not. And I've been on for 2 hours and 18 minutes. And we did have a little bit of a slideshow. That was great. Showed some more photos. And I learned some more from Brene telling me to get this drink. I'll have to go back and look at the name. 1970 hours. Oh, cool. I will bet you'll surpass me. I'll give you that, my friend. All right, Ronney, Rob, hang in there, guys. Get your phone working there, Ronney. I hope the best for you to get your channel, your other channel back there so you can get it working again, your phone number or your PIN. Look that up on YouTube. You can get all that back without too much problems. I'm sure you can. All right, guys. We'll catch you next Sunday if you're here. If not, okay. If you're here next Sunday at high noon, my time. Right now, it's 2:18. Set your watches by my time. All right. We'll catch you guys next week. And stay tuned I like to put up at least 1, maybe 2 videos a week and shorts when I can squeeze them in there. Even if they don't count towards my monetization. So what? They're good. I like them. Okay, guys. We'll catch you guys all on the next one. And if nobody has told you they loved you today, let me be the first. I do. I love each and every one of you. So come back next week, same time. Catch you then.